Today, God message. Someone in your house is cheating on you. My beloved, if you are watching this, I urge you to listen closely and carefully. This is not just another message. This is a divine communication that has been sent straight from above, and it is for you. Do not disregard it, for it holds the key to unraveling the mysteries that have been lingering in your life. If you have ever believed in angels, if you have ever trusted in the unseen hands of the divine, this message is for you. It is not by chance that you have come across this video today. The angels have guided you here, and now it is time for you to hear what they have been whispering to you. This is your wake-up call. In your life, there have been moments when you have felt uneasy, moments when you couldn't explain why your heart felt heavy, why your thoughts seemed clouded, why your soul stirred with a sense of something being wrong. Have you noticed it, dear one? The quiet discontentment, the restless nights where your dreams were not just dreams, but signs, divine warnings that something wasn't right. It is not a coincidence, and it is not a mere feeling. What you have been sensing is real. You have walked through the halls of your home and felt an unsettling presence, haven't you? The silence that should bring peace, yet it lingers like a shadow. The smiles that have become hollow, the words that are laced with hesitation. You have noticed the cracks in the facade, the walls that once felt sturdy but now seem to carry the weight of secrets. You have known, deep within you, that something is amiss. And the truth is this: someone in your house is cheating on you. The truth has been right before your eyes, but it has been hidden behind the mask of normalcy. It is not in the words spoken aloud, for words are easy to disguise, but it is in the unspoken moments. It is in the hesitation before the words are spoken, the awkward pauses in conversation, and the sudden changes in behavior that cannot be ignored. You have seen the way they avoid eye contact with you, the way their smile seems less genuine than before. These are the signs that cannot be ignored. You have heard their forced laughter, their attempts to cover up the tension with trivial conversation. But deep down, you know something is broken. You feel it, and you must confront it. This is the moment where the veil is being torn away, where your spirit is awakening to the truth that has been hidden in plain sight. The comfort of routine and the illusion of peace have kept you in the dark for so long. But now, the divine has decided that it is time for you to see clearly. You are no longer blind to the reality that has been surrounding you. You are being given the gift of awareness, the ability to see what has been concealed, the strength to face what you have been avoiding. You may not want to hear it, but the time has come to confront the truth. But why, you might ask? Did you ignore the signs for so long? Why did you deny the truth that was staring you in the face? It is easy to fall into the trap of denial when we are afraid of facing the painful realities that threaten our peace. We convince ourselves that everything is fine, that the small signs we notice are just figments of our imagination. But God does not allow these feelings to linger without purpose. He has given you these signs, these nudges, to guide you toward the truth. He has equipped you with the wisdom to recognize when something is wrong. The truth has been there, but you needed the courage to acknowledge it. As you confront this truth, remember that you are not alone. God's word is your anchor in this storm. The divine has been with you, guiding you, even when you did not recognize it. Let his presence fill your heart with peace, for he is with you, ready to heal you and restore what has been broken. God says in his word, Psalm 23 verse 4, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. No matter how painful the truth may be, you are not walking this path alone. You have the strength of God within you. It is in the hardest moments of our lives that we are called to rise with divine strength. Betrayal is one of the deepest wounds a person can experience, but it is also an opportunity for spiritual growth. It is in these moments of pain that God strengthens us, refines us, and calls us to trust Him even more. God's Word reminds us that He has plans for us, plans to prosper us, not to harm us. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. Even in the midst of betrayal, God's plans for your life remain unchanged. He will heal your wounds, restore your joy, and guide you through this darkness. You may wonder, how can I move forward from here? The answer is found in your faith. Trust in God's promises, even when everything around you seems uncertain. He is the healer of broken hearts, the restorer of relationships, and the one who can turn the pain of betrayal into the power of transformation. Let His love be your comfort, and let His wisdom guide your steps. Now is the time to take action. Do not let this moment pass without addressing the truth that has been revealed to you. Take time to pray and seek God's guidance. He is the one who can help you navigate through this storm. As you pray, ask God to reveal the next steps for you and to give you the strength to face whatever comes next. And remember, the power of prayer is not only in the asking, but in the believing. God listens to your heart, and He will provide the answers you seek. The divine is calling you to rise above the betrayal and to walk in the strength that only He can provide. This is your opportunity to heal, to grow, and to trust that God is leading you to something greater. No matter how broken the situation may seem, God is in control. He will turn your pain into purpose, and He will use this moment to build something far greater than you could ever imagine. As you stand at this crossroads, remember that God's promises never fail. He is with you in every moment, every trial, and every victory. Trust in His timing and His plans for your life. This is not the end of your story. It is merely a new beginning. You are being called to a higher purpose, and with God's strength, you will overcome whatever challenges lie ahead. Allow this divine revelation to be the catalyst for your transformation. You are not alone. You are loved. You are chosen. And through God's grace, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Psalm 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Take this message to heart, for it is a divine revelation meant to empower you. Stay strong in your faith and trust that God is with you through it all. Have you felt it? That unsettling shift in the air, the way everything seems slightly off, as though something is quietly pulling at the threads of peace that once filled your home? The very place where you should feel safest now feels like a battleground. You are not imagining things, and you are certainly not paranoid. What you're sensing is real. A betrayal is taking root in the heart of your sanctuary. And it's not just a matter of suspicion, it's a painful truth that needs to be faced. The signs have been there, creeping in slowly, almost imperceptibly. Have you noticed how messages are quickly deleted, how glances are exchanged in the shadows, just out of your line of sight? Have you caught your loved one on the phone, whispering in hushed tones behind closed doors, or making plans that somehow always exclude you? These moments, subtle and fleeting as they seem, are not innocent. They are the cracks in the foundation of your trust, the silent warning signs that something is wrong. And the person who was supposed to protect you, to keep you safe, has allowed these cracks to deepen. The truth is, someone in your life, someone too close for comfort, has been using your love as a shield, hiding behind your trust to cover their own deception. They have used your kindness as a cover for their actions, allowing the darkness to grow between you without you even realizing it. You gave your heart, your trust, your loyalty, only for them to take advantage of that love, twisting it into something it was never meant to be. But now, as the storm begins to swirl around you, you feel it in your soul. This is no longer a warning. The storm is already here, and you have been caught in the eye of it. In the past, you have shown loyalty, honesty, and generosity beyond measure, often giving of yourself in ways that others would not. You've given your best, and yet the one you trusted has allowed someone else to come between you. A door has been opened, one that should have remained shut, and now everything you've built together is being quietly dismantled from the inside out. The love you shared is now overshadowed by secrets, lies, and the painful truth that they have allowed the darkness to creep in. This moment is crucial, and you need to stop and ask yourself, what is God telling you in this moment? God doesn't leave his children in darkness. He brings light. When we are betrayed, when we feel the hurt and the weight of deception, it can seem impossible to find a way forward. But God's word is clear. In Psalm 20, verse 1, it says, "The Lord hears you in your distress. He is your refuge and strength." Even now, when you feel shaken and uncertain, God is near, offering his refuge and his strength. Do you trust that he will bring justice in his perfect timing? Do you believe that he can heal your heart, restore your peace, and guide you through this storm? The path ahead may feel uncertain, and you may be tempted to react in anger, in hurt, or in bitterness. But the Bible reminds us in Proverbs 3, verse 5, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding." In these moments, you are called to lean on God, to trust in his wisdom, even when it doesn't make sense. Do you trust him enough to allow him to work in your life, even when you don't fully understand what is happening or why it's happening? Take a moment to reflect on what you've been through. How many times have you given everything for someone only to find that they were not giving the same in return? How many times have you placed your trust in someone only for them to betray it? These are hard questions, and they bring pain, but they also bring clarity. The truth is that sometimes God allows these moments of hurt to teach us something deeper about ourselves, our trust, and our reliance on him. It's not easy, but it is necessary. The storm you are facing right now may be painful, but it is not the end of the story. This moment is not the final chapter. God is not finished with you, and he will not leave you in your sorrow. Trust that he is using this situation to refine you, to strengthen you, and to guide you into a future where you can walk in his light, free from the burdens of deceit and betrayal. Your healing begins when you surrender your pain to him and allow him to bring peace where there has been none. You may feel alone right now, but you are not. You are not the first to face betrayal, and you won't be the last. God has always been with his people through the trials of life, and he will continue to be with you. Know that he is working, even in the silence, and that he will restore what has been broken. His justice is always perfect. His love is unchanging, and his timing is impeccable. Do you believe that he can turn this situation around for you? Do you trust that he will use it for your good? Take heart. because the God who sees the truth will reveal it in His time. You may not understand the why or the how, but you can rest in knowing that God is with you, holding you, guiding you through this storm. You will come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to Him than ever before. And as you move forward, trust that He will restore your peace, protect your heart, and bring you into the full, abundant life He has promised. In this moment, I want you to open your eyes not in fear, but in clarity, because what has been hidden in the shadows will no longer remain concealed. What has been done in the darkness will eventually be brought to the light, not to shame you, but to set you free. This message, yes, this very one, is for you. The moment you are reading these words, something inside you, deep within your soul, is already confirming what you've suspected for so long. It's been eating away at you, and you've doubted yourself, blaming yourself, wondering if you were enough, if you've somehow missed the signs. You've questioned your worth because things started changing, but there was never any reason given. You've felt like something's off, and yet you've kept quiet, not wanting to face what seemed like an impossible truth. But I'm here to tell you today, the truth was never about what you lacked. The truth is about what they allowed to happen in the dark. You have loved deeply with all your heart. You have sacrificed in ways others wouldn't understand. But now, it is time to stop pretending that what you feel inside, that unease gnawing at your heart, is a figment of your imagination. It is time to stop ignoring the signs that have been knocking quietly, persistently at your soul. You've been receiving signals, my friend, for weeks, maybe even longer. The moment they left their phone face down, the sudden nervousness when you reached for it, the unexplained late nights, and the anger that flared up when you asked simple questions. All of it. You've seen the signs, haven't you? You've felt the walls they've built around themselves, hoping you wouldn't notice the lies creeping in. But I'm here to tell you that you are climbing. Your heart is climbing. Your intuition is rising, and that gut feeling you've had, it's not wrong. This is not just your imagination. This is not your overthinking. It is time for you to know the truth. Someone in your home, someone you trust, is betraying you. There is no escaping the facts any longer. The truth has a way of coming to light, no matter how hard we try to hide it. The Bible teaches us in Psalm 27, verse 1, that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? You do not walk alone through this. God is with you, guiding you through the darkness into the light. He is here to deliver you from the confusion and the hurt that has been consuming you. The truth is painful, yes, but it is also freeing. It is the first step toward healing. You've heard the whispers in your heart, the signs that you couldn't ignore anymore, and now here it is. This is your confirmation. Do you remember when they became defensive when you asked simple questions? Do you remember the way they suddenly started changing their routines, hiding their actions, making excuses where there were none before? This isn't love. This isn't transparency. This is someone who is keeping secrets, someone building walls around their lies. They thought they could get away with it, that you wouldn't notice. But you did. And God sees all. Luke 12, verse 2 tells us, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known." The walls they've built around their lies will crumble, and the truth will come rushing out. You might be asking, why? Why is this happening to me? It's natural to feel betrayed, confused, and heartbroken. But remember, you were never meant to carry this burden alone. God is with you, and this is your moment of awakening, of clarity, of truth. The lies may sting now, but they will no longer control you. God's plan for you is so much greater than this moment of pain. He is removing the deceit from your life so that you can step into the peace and joy that He has prepared for you. What you're facing today is part of your journey, a painful but necessary step toward your breakthrough. If you've felt abandoned, or if you've ever doubted your own worth, know this: your worth is not determined by the actions of others. God loves you deeply and unconditionally. His love is the foundation that you stand on, the strength that carries you through the storms. And while others may have betrayed you, God will never leave you or forsake you. This is your moment to claim your strength, to rise up, and to reclaim the peace and happiness that is yours by divine right. Trust in the Lord's timing. Trust in His plan, and know that you are not alone. The truth will set you free. The truth will be your deliverance. What do you do now? You stand tall, you breathe deeply, and you know that you are worthy of love and respect. You do not have to accept the lies. You do not have to remain in a situation where you are being betrayed. This is your time to make the choice to step into the truth, to walk away from the darkness, and to move forward in faith, knowing that God's blessings are waiting for you. No more lies, no more deceit. You are free, and the best is yet to come. Remember, God is guiding you. He is your light and salvation. Trust Him. Step forward in faith, and know that your truth will set you free. The truth is out, and now it's time for you to live in the freedom of it. This is an urgent message from God, a divine revelation that is meant just for you. It's time for you to open your heart, listen carefully, and understand the signs that have been surrounding you for some time now. If you've been feeling that something is wrong in your home, in your relationship, and in your connection with someone close to you, you are not mistaken. The subtle signs, the shifts in behavior, the emotional distance, these are not mere coincidences. God has placed this message before you so that you can understand what's been happening in your life, and it's time to acknowledge the truth. You've noticed the mood swings, the sudden distance. The laughter that once filled your heart now feels off, like it's hiding something. The small over-explanations for trivial things, the changes in their scent, the different tone they use when they speak to you, these are all clues. But the true evidence isn't just in what you see, it's in what you feel deep inside. When you're near them, your soul reacts. You flinch when they touch you, and your spirit recoils when you hear their voice. There was a time when you ran into their arms, filled with joy. But now you hesitate. These aren't just feelings. These are the divine whispers of your soul, telling you something is wrong. Do not ignore this inner guidance. Pay close attention to it. You were not brought to this message by accident. It was divinely placed before you. It's God's way of confirming what your heart has been sensing, but what you've been too afraid to admit. You've been patient. You've prayed. You've forgiven things that have hurt you in the past. You've stayed awake at night, replaying the moments, wondering where things started to go wrong. But now, you finally see it. The mask has cracked. And behind it is someone who took your love and treated it carelessly, who took something sacred and made it selfish. But here's the good news, my dear friend. You are not broken. You are not less than. You are not to blame for someone else's choices, especially when they chose betrayal in your absence. They knew better. They made promises to you, promises that they now break. They saw your light, and instead of cherishing it, they chose to dim it rather than grow with you. This is the important message for you today. You are sacred. You are strong. Your worth is not diminished by their actions. It's time for you to rise above this. You were never meant to remain in a place where your trust is played with, where your love is met with lies, and your loyalty is treated like a doormat. You are a precious child of God, and you deserve better than to be left in a space where you are not valued. You are worthy of love that is pure, that is faithful, and that honors you for who you truly are. As it's written in Psalm 20, verse 1, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" You have nothing to fear. Your soul is strong and protected by God. You have been chosen for greater things, and it's time to walk in the light of His truth. Do not let the shadows of betrayal keep you in a place of doubt and despair. You are meant for greatness, and the time to reclaim your peace is now. You may feel hurt, you may feel betrayed, but do not let these emotions keep you bound to someone who does not value you. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32 reminds us, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you." Forgiveness doesn't mean you accept betrayal. It means you free yourself from the chains that hold you. It means you release the bitterness, the anger, and the pain that someone else has caused you, so that your spirit can heal and grow. Your journey is not over. It's just beginning. The person who chose to betray you, they have chosen their path, and now you must choose yours. Your path is one of healing, one of truth, and one of clarity. You are stronger than you know, and now, more than ever, you must protect your soul, not by fighting, but by seeing clearly. Speak your truth. Stand still, breathe, and let your soul be renewed. The time has come for you to take back your power. You have the strength within you to rise above the hurt and the lies. You will not be defined by the betrayal of others. You will be defined by your strength, your resilience, and your unwavering faith in God. The light within you cannot be dimmed by anyone. It is time to protect your soul, not by retaliation, but by standing firm in your faith, in your love, and in your truth. Remember this and hold it close to your heart. You are a warrior of light, and your light will always shine brighter than the darkness that tries to cloud it. God has a purpose for you, and this moment is just a stepping stone toward your divine destiny. Do not let anyone dim your light. If you agree with this message, if this resonates with you, take a moment to affirm it by saying, "Amen." By doing so, you claim this truth for yourself, and you let God's blessing flow freely into your life. The best is yet to come. There are moments in life when the truth reveals itself in the most painful way. And today, God's message is clear. Someone in your home is betraying your trust. It is not the loud, dramatic betrayal that shakes the earth. It is the quiet, insidious kind that creeps in, weaving its way through subtle actions and unnoticed gestures. You've noticed the small inconsistencies, the excuses that don't quite add up, the missed calls and hidden messages. These are not just fleeting moments, but cracks in the foundation of a relationship that once seemed unshakable. You've felt the sting of their avoidance, the way their eyes no longer meet yours with the same warmth and love they once did. They now seek distance from the love that once gave them everything, and you have carried this weight quietly, hoping against hope that it is just a phase, a temporary cloud in an otherwise bright sky. Perhaps you've convinced yourself that things will go back to normal, that the honesty you deserve will eventually return. But my dear, truth has a way of making itself known. and it will not remain hidden forever. As hard as it is to face, the truth is now flowing into your heart like light pouring through a shattered window. It's messy, it's painful, but it is necessary. God is telling you today, you deserve better. You were not meant to live in a place where deceit lingers like smoke, choking your joy and peace. Your soul is crying out for release, for a life where trust is not a fleeting thing, where love is not tainted by betrayal. Psalm 23 verse 4 says, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." This message reminds us that even in the most painful times, God is walking with us. He sees your suffering, and He is here to guide you toward freedom. You are not meant to carry this burden alone. And though your heart may ache, know this: you are not weak for loving. You are not blind for trusting. You were chosen to carry love because your heart is pure and open, but you were not chosen to carry betrayal. That is not your burden. God is calling you to rise above, to look in the mirror and remember who you are. You are someone with strength, someone who has the power to rebuild and rise even after the deepest hurt. Your journey is not defined by the betrayal of others, but by the grace you show yourself and the courage to walk away from what no longer serves you. Let this be your turning point, not with bitterness or resentment, but with grace, the kind of grace that understands that the truth, even when it breaks your heart, is what ultimately sets you free. You are a child of God, chosen to live in peace, joy, and truth. Your mornings will once again be filled with light. Your home will be a place of peace, and your relationships will be grounded in honesty and trust. Proverbs 12, verse 22 reminds us, "The Lord detests lying lips, but He delights in people who are trustworthy." You are worthy of truth. You are deserving of a life where you can look into the eyes of those you love and feel the assurance of their honesty. Your story is not over. This chapter may feel heavy, but it is leading you toward a future where betrayal has no place. Your peace, your happiness, and your joy are being restored. You have been called to choose yourself, to prioritize your worth, and to step into a future where you no longer accept the shadows of deceit. Your spirit has brought you here to this moment, and now you have the power to move forward, not with bitterness, but with a heart that knows its worth. You will rebuild, you will thrive, and you will walk in the light of truth, for God is with you every step of the way. Do not let the actions of others define your happiness. You are stronger than you realize. And this is not the end. It is only the beginning of a new chapter where you will find peace, love, and the honesty you've always deserved. So rise up, look in the mirror, and remember that you are someone who will thrive even after betrayal. You are deserving of a home filled with honesty, a heart full of peace, and mornings that greet you with joy. Someone in your house is cheating on you. You've felt it, haven't you? The distance, the coldness, the things left unsaid. And now you have the truth before you. This is the moment you've been waiting for, even if you didn't realize it. It is time for you to reclaim your power, to stand tall, and decide that your heart will no longer be manipulated or hidden in shadows. Let this be the moment that clears your mind. Let it be the night you rest with clarity and peace instead of confusion and anxiety. Let it be the morning you wake up and stop pretending everything is fine when deep inside you know it's not. As you let these words settle into your soul, I pray that your heart begins to heal. I pray that the deep wounds you've carried begin to mend, that your spirit feels seen and your soul feels the lightness of truth. In this very moment, let your heart find its rhythm again, not in the chaos of a false love, but in the steady, comforting beat of the truth. Know this: you are not alone in this journey. You were guided to this very message for a reason. This is not a coincidence. You are here because you are ready. Ready to see what has been hidden from you. Ready to face the reality that has been in front of your eyes all along. Ready to choose truth over illusion and to stop shrinking yourself for someone who has long since stopped valuing you in the way you once believed. Let's be clear. It won't be easy. The truth never is. It will come with pain, with moments of grief and anger, but I promise you it will be worth it. Every tear you shed, every hard conversation you have, every quiet realization you come to, it's all a part of your transformation. It's the moment when the old, crumbling foundation is torn down so a new one can be built. A foundation that is stronger, purer, and free of lies and deceit. There will come a day when you will smile again. A smile that is real. A smile that is not hiding a question or masking your confusion. A smile born from the knowing that you no longer have to live in the shadows of dishonesty, pretending to be love. This moment was not a random occurrence. It was by divine design that your eyes fell upon these words. Heaven has been whispering your name for some time now. Your spirit has been restless, seeking the truth that has long been hidden. The secret has been buried beneath silence, beneath smiles and empty promises. But now that truth is coming to light. It is rising like a flood, and you can no longer ignore it. You've known something wasn't right, haven't you? Your heart has suspected. Your soul has groaned in the silence of the night without knowing why. You've felt the shift, the way someone's eyes no longer hold the same warmth, how their words have become cold and distant. Their embrace has turned stiff and forced. You saw it, you felt it, and yet you stayed silent. But know this: heaven saw it all. The ache in your heart is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that your heart is awake, that your spirit has been crying out for truth. This is the moment the divine has been preparing you for, a moment where what has been hidden will finally be revealed. The silence is breaking. The veil is lifting, and now you must listen closely, for the truth is speaking to you. As it says in the Bible, the truth will set you free. John chapter 8, verse 32. Let these words speak to you now. Let them be the strength you need to face what's been hidden from you for so long. And remember, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. This is not the end, but a new beginning. Now, I want you to take a deep breath and ask yourself, what will you do with the truth that has come to light today? Will you stand in your power and rebuild? Will you choose peace and clarity over confusion and lies? The divine is guiding you. It's time to follow that path. This is a message that will shake the foundations of what you thought you knew. But it's also one of the greatest acts of love you'll ever experience. Someone you trusted deeply, someone you've shared your life with, has strayed. The person who shares your home, your space, your moments, has chosen to walk down the dark path of deception. This isn't meant to break you. It's meant to free you. What is coming to light now is not the destruction of your spirit, but the liberation of your soul. Know this: you are stronger than you realize. The truth that is about to be unveiled is part of your journey toward healing and peace. It may hurt, it may shock you, but this moment is necessary. The one who swore to be by your side has been keeping secrets. behind locked phones, hidden messages, and rehearsed lies, they've created a world that you weren't meant to see. Maybe you've noticed the small changes, the new behaviors, the distant glances, the phone calls taken in private spaces, the history erased from the browser. They've told you it's nothing, that it's just work, just stress, just a friend. But you knew. Deep within, your soul whispered the truth. It wasn't paranoia, it was discernment. It was the divine calling you to pay attention, to open your eyes. And now, here you are, standing at the precipice of the truth. The messages they thought they had deleted are still with you. The pictures, the calls made when you weren't looking, all of it is still there. You've seen the change in their eyes. When they say, "I love you," it no longer feels like it did before. There's a hollow ring to it, a distant echo, and that's because love does not live in secrets. Love does not hide behind passwords and fake names. Love does not flinch when you ask questions. Real love stands in the light, never hiding from the truth. You were never crazy. You were never overthinking. The feelings you had, the doubts you fought, they were right. The whispers in your heart were true. You were not mistaken. The truth is coming now, like a sudden storm that clears the air. And this truth is not meant to break you. It's meant to set you free. You are not alone in this moment. There are angels standing by you, watching over you, wiping away the tears you haven't shed yet. They saw you in your solitude, asking why it felt like something was wrong, but not knowing how to make sense of it. They saw the times you checked the phone when it was left unattended, and they saw the evidence. Names that popped up again and again, messages sent at odd hours, conversations that didn't add up, unexplained drives, strange charges on the account, shifts in routine that didn't sit right. Yes, they saw all of it, even when you didn't have the courage to acknowledge it fully. This is not a message of heartbreak. It's a message of awakening. This is not the end of your joy. It's the beginning of your rise. You are being called into truth, into clarity, so that you can walk into the freedom that belongs to you. You do not deserve to live in the shadows of uncertainty. You do not deserve a love that is half-hearted or a relationship that is built on lies. You deserve truth. You deserve loyalty. You deserve peace within the walls of your own home. You were created for a love that holds no secrets, for a sanctuary of trust, for a heart that rests without suspicion. And now, your Creator is moving to restore that. They said they would never hurt you, but their actions became a contradiction to their words. They flirted with disloyalty and danced with temptation. They held hands with secrecy, all while keeping their true self locked away behind closed doors. But let me remind you, God sees beyond every door. He walks through every hidden place. The one who formed you sees when you are being devalued, when your worth is being disregarded. He knows what is happening even when no one else does. And now, the stirring you feel in your spirit, that's God's confirmation. That's the divine aligning with your heart to show you the truth. Even when others try to gaslight you, making you feel like you're overreacting or imagining things, know that you are not mistaken. You were born for this moment, born for revelation. You were created to see beyond the surface, to walk through the fire of this trial, and come out stronger. This is the moment where your clarity meets your destiny, where truth meets your soul. Psalm 20, verse 1 reminds us, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" And as you face this moment, remember that you are never alone. Your Creator is with you, guiding you through this storm. This is the season of revelation, where what has been hidden will be brought to light, not to break you, but to build you. Your future is not tied to someone who has turned away from loyalty. It is tied to your ability to rise in the truth, to step into the light and embrace the peace that comes with it. You are no longer bound by lies. You are free to move forward into a life where love is full, where trust is unbroken, where your heart can rest easy. You were born for more than this. You were created for a love that stands in the truth, a life that is filled with the peace of God. And in this moment, you are being called to embrace that life. Don't look back. The best is yet to come. If you've been struggling with this, remember that the divine is calling you out of darkness. You were meant to live in the light, in truth, and in love that never hides. God sees you. God knows you, and He is with you every step of the way. Trust the process, and trust in the truth that is coming to you now. And as you embrace this new chapter, remember the words of Isaiah 41, verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This is your time. This is your moment of revelation. Embrace it. This is the moment where you stop doubting your worth, where you let go of the self-doubt that's been holding you back for far too long. No more accepting anything less than you deserve. No more settling for half-truths. It's time to ask the hard questions, to demand answers, and to stand firm in your truth. Someone has betrayed your kindness. And though their actions have hurt you deeply, they cannot steal what is rightfully yours. They may have shattered your trust beneath their selfishness, but they will not take the future that God has already set out for you. You are a person of strength, and no betrayal, no matter how painful, will define you. The peace you've lost will return. The tears you've shed will be wiped away. Your life, once clouded by deceit, will shine again, brighter and stronger than before. This is not just a message, it's a promise from God. You are going to witness the truth unfold, not through your own seeking, but by the divine orchestration of heaven itself. Someone will slip up. Someone will make a mistake. Perhaps they'll send the wrong message, leave a window open, or expose a truth they never meant to. It won't be a coincidence. It will be heaven's way of saying to you, "Here, child, you deserve to know the truth." The divine is showing you the way out of this darkness, allowing you to breathe again, to rise and walk confidently in the full light of truth. You will leave behind everything that no longer serves you, everything that doesn't honor the sacredness within you. You are being preserved. Even if the truth stings, even if it brings pain, it is not meant to break you. It will heal you. The betrayal may have caused damage, but it will not be the end of you. In fact, this revelation will rebuild you stronger than ever before. You are not going to stay down. You are going to laugh again, to live again, and to walk into a season where you no longer question your worth, because you are enough. You always were. The failure of others to value you doesn't reflect on your worth. It reflects on their inability to see your true value. They were not ready for someone as real as you. Let every lie fall apart. Let every secret be revealed. Let every manipulation dissolve under the power of truth. Truth, no matter how painful, is kind. It is what sets you free, and now kindness is coming to you. You don't have to beg for honesty, nor do you have to beg for love that is pure and genuine. The divine is entering your life, sweeping away what no longer belongs, healing the wounds that have been festering for far too long. This message is for you. Though they may deny it at first, though they may twist the truth and manipulate the narrative, your spirit already knows the truth. You already feel it in your soul. Now is the time for your words to speak it. Let your eyes see the truth. Let your heart choose peace. The chains of confusion that have kept you bound are breaking. You are not crazy. You are not asking for too much. You are asking for what your soul was destined to carry. Truth, loyalty, and love that stands firm, even when no one is watching. The betrayal you've experienced is not your fault. The deception you've endured is not your burden to carry. You did your best. You believed. You trusted. That is not weakness. It is beauty. Do not let the mistakes of others make you hate the heart that you have. Your heart is rare, precious, and whole. Let it be cared for by those who know its value, by those who understand how to protect it. As we reflect on this, let us remember the words of Psalm 20, verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Trust that God, your shepherd, will provide everything you need and will protect you from harm. Your life is in His hands, and He will guide you through the darkest of times into a season of abundance and peace. And in the words of Psalm 34, verse 18, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. He is near to you now, in your pain, and He will restore your heart. Trust that healing is coming, and your spirit will be renewed. This message is meant for you, right now. There's a shift taking place, and the truth is making its way into the light. Evidence is going to surface, and as it does, your tears will be turned into strength. You will rise from this, not just healed, but wiser, not just whole, but radiant. If they cannot love you truthfully, it's time to let them go. Let them face the mirror of their own choices. You were never the problem. No, you were the blessing that they mishandled. The silence you've endured is over now. What has been done in secret will soon be exposed. What has been hidden will be revealed. But take heart, you will not fall. Instead, you will flourish. You will not break. You will be built up, stronger than before. I am giving you the strength to let go if you must, the courage to confront what has been concealed, and the grace to walk away with your dignity intact. You are not alone in this journey. I am with you. I am for you. And I will not allow deception to reign in your home. The truth will come forth, not to harm you, but to heal you. It will protect you, not punish you. This is your turning point. Let the truth rain down like healing waters. Let peace return to your heart. This message is for you, and it's unfolding before your very eyes. Watch as the pieces fall into place, one by one. Watch as confirmation comes to you in ways both small and grand. Watch as the truth reveals itself, one piece at a time. And when it does, breathe. Let the tears come if they must. But then, stand up. Wipe your face, lift your head, and remember who you are. You are loved. You are protected. You are walking in a light that no one can extinguish. The betrayal you've endured may sting, but it will not define you. The truth may hurt, but it will never harm you. It will heal you. It will set you free. Heaven is fighting for you, and the Spirit is surrounding you. Angels are entering rooms before you even arrive, preparing the way. What was meant to break you will now become the place where your breakthrough happens. Do not fear. Do not shrink back. Do not doubt what your spirit already knows. The truth is coming. Love is returning. Peace is being restored. And when you look back, you will say, "Yes, it hurt, but it helped me see. It broke me, but it built me stronger. It shattered my illusions, but it gave me back my freedom." Now you know the truth, and that knowledge will set you free. This is not about revenge. This is about truth. This is about healing. This is about restoration. I am the restorer of all things. You were never alone in this house, not for a single moment. I was there when you cried quietly in the room, unsure why your spirit felt so heavy. I was there when you felt your love was not being returned in the same way, and yet you stayed, hoping things would change. I was there when you wondered, maybe it's me, maybe I'm overthinking. No, child, you weren't overthinking. You were spiritually sensitive. You were hearing my voice. That was my spirit nudging you, telling you something wasn't aligning with the truth. This is your confirmation. This is the message just for you. You did nothing wrong by loving them. You did nothing wrong by trusting them. Trust is not your weakness. It is your strength. You gave love where I told you to sow it. And now I am showing you the field that has grown weeds where there should have been fruit. Do not blame yourself. Do not allow shame to weigh you down. Shame is not your portion. Peace is. Healing is. Victory is. I am your refuge. I am your hiding place. And I say to you now, you are safe, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, and in every unseen realm where battles are fought and tears are stored in heaven's bottles. You are protected. I surround you like a wall of light. What you once thought would break you will now build you. What was meant to distract you will now develop you. I am taking the very situation that was twisted in secrecy and using it as a key to unlock the next part of your purpose. You felt the shift in the house. You sensed the change in the atmosphere, and now it is time to step into the truth. The truth is not here to hurt you. It is here to help you grow stronger. It will help you rise from the ashes of what has been broken. This is the moment where the divine steps in, and your spirit finds its strength. You've carried the weight of the unknown for so long, but no longer will you bear this burden alone. The truth will lift you up. The truth will set you free. What was meant to break you will now build you. You are not defined by the betrayal you've experienced. You are not defined by the hurt, the confusion, or the broken promises. You are defined by your strength, your courage, and your ability to rise after every fall. Psalm 34, verse 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Romans 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. These verses remind us that even in the most painful moments, God is near. The challenges you face are not meant to break you. They are stepping stones to something greater. Keep trusting in the divine plan and know that you are being built, not broken. Keep walking in faith, for what lies ahead is brighter than what you've left behind.